Hey kids, welcome back to a late edition of Old Man Plays CFL Fantasy. I know I said on my update on Thursday I'd try and have this out by noon BC time today. Here it is 4:30 and I'm just getting started. One of the things I've discovered is that since I retired, days can disappear from me. I wake up and start puttering at something and before I know it, the day's gone, and that kind of happened to me today. So I apologize. Not an excuse, but a reason. Anyway, you still have almost 24 hours before the first game, so hopefully I'm not letting you down too much. Let's talk about those games. Only 3 this weekend because it's Labor Day, baby, and whoa, I can't wait. Anyway, we start with Saskatchewan and Winnipeg. The depth charts are both out, and to my shock and surprise, the Bombers released theirs. So we can see who's in the game. I'm by and large going to stay away from this game. The Bombers have both Dembski and Schoen in, and they're usually pretty good choices. But they were both questionable on the injury reports all week, so I don't know what kind of performance they'll have with Dembski coming off of his injury and Schoen back after a long-term one. So I'm leery there. And Brady doesn't normally run well against the Riders. Now, it's Labor Day, so who knows, but I think I'm staying away from it. If you wanted to go anywhere in that direction, you might want to consider about Dembski. He's been a touchdown machine, and he gets to catch a game and everything, so there's that. I don't think I'm going to do it. On the Saskatchewan side, Harris will probably put up a lot of yards and score, and I figure they'll likely win. But the problem is that Winnipeg defense can at times stand on their head far above where they should be, and I'm not sure about that. And while I do like Johnson, with Harris you never know. Sometimes he'll go one way, sometimes another. You can pick Johnson, then it's all Myers. That's happened to me earlier in the season. And the flip side, I pick Myers, and it's all Johnson. So we'll see. Johnson I may go with depending on price, but I think other than that, the receivers I'm staying away from. The running back, Olet, I think I'd like him in there. And he is playing, so we're all set there. And I guess I should say there's no real changes in either of these depth charts. Eccles and Kyran Moore, who was with Edmonton last year. Eccles was with Calgary. They're not showing up on the depth chart, so they're not using their new receivers yet. And the Riders don't have a Joe in. They've gone with their regular 6 with Robustelli in there alongside Johnson and Myers. And then I believe they're playing Neild and Del Duncan Busby. That's it. Going on to the next game, Toronto at Hamilton. I missed this. DeMonte Coxey's on the 6th game. I never saw it announced or anything, so I'm not sure when that happened, but he is out. Daniels is out. One of their O-linemen, Sage Dockstetter, I believe you pronounce it, is out, although Ryan Hunter is back from his scooter accident. Dante McMahon is also out, but was it Spencer Brown, I think, that they brought in last week, who ran really well. So depending on the price, I may go for him. And the other one, which might impact this, is Sluka is out on the defense. So their back end might be even a little more of a sieve than it's been. Now on the other side, and I should say, by the way, though, if you want to do something like that, there is Herslow, who had a breakout game last week. You could team him up with Arbuckle. I mean, hey, what a weird year. Arbuckle is a fantasy quarterback. Last week, anybody would have been happy to have his points, and when they played Hamilton earlier in the year, it was a shootout. They never quite caught Hamilton, but it was high scoring. So I think either of these quarterbacks is a good choice. But I will probably lean towards Bo just because it feels more consistent to me. And on their side of things, there's not too many there's lots that are out, but not too many that are starters. I think they have a starting O-lineman out. And other than that, Stavros Katsantonis is questionable, so we'll have to see. But otherwise, they're looking fairly healthy. And then the last game, Edmonton, Stephen Dunbar and Robbie Smith went on the 6th game this week. So they're out. Nick Anderson is still out, which will hurt. Well, Dunbar's been their number 1 receiver in yards anyway, and Smith and Anderson hurt the defense. Plus, Jared Brinkman suddenly shows up on today as limited with a shoulder and questionable. So that O-line may have some struggles. And then we get to Calgary. And again, they've got a bunch of people out. It looks like Tavon Jones is back from his illness. Dominic Rhymes is listed as available, so hopefully his quad is good and he'll be ready to go. But they're still missing people on the back end. I believe that they still let me find him here. Adrian Green is marked as out. Yeah, Ben LaVos is marked as out. Mind you, I can't remember which of the Onyekas it is. There's so many of them, but whoever's been holding down that corner has been playing well in there. So I don't know if it makes a big difference. So Mills in here, and maybe go with Dominic Rhymes. VA, I'm not sure, because this is the thing about picking anybody from Calgary right now is I don't know if this is true, but I've heard a rumor that that illness that kept Jones out last week can be a terrible one. Something like he lost double digits pounds fighting it off and took him 2 weeks to recover. And the rumor is it's going through the camp and VA is fighting it right now. So that VA might be a questionable pick. I mean, hopefully he plays, but will he be effective? So I'm sticking away from there. Mills feels like he could be great, but on the other hand, that Edmonton line has been looking better, and with the linebackers they have in there, they should be able to shut down the run. Mind you, the Riders should have been able to too, and they didn't. So I'm leery. And on the other side, Rankin, they're using him out of the backfield as a receiver more than a running back. And I think he's expensive, so I'll probably avoid that. But that's sort of the basics of what I'm looking at this week, where I'm going, what I'm trying to do. So we'll fire up Fantasy on the computer here and put together a team, see how it works. Okay, so here we go. And I have to admit, this week's kind of in my head. I'm up against Safamod in the Canadian Football Podcast League. He's number one by a relatively good margin, and I can't let that bother me. I can't play a different game trying to guess what he's going to do and match up against him that way. I've got to slow down, let my game come to me, pick what I get, and let the chips fall where they may. So, Safamod, Steve, I believe, from Piffle's podcast, I wish you good luck this week, but not quite as good as me. Hopefully we all have fun. And to start with Bo Levi Mitchell at quarterback, and I do think he is still the best choice right now. And for some reason, I don't know why, hopefully this isn't trying to chase points that won't be there, but last time they played Toronto, Kenny Lawler went off. Now everyone's saying, okay, well, Toronto won't run that same coverage and Lawler won't get what he's been getting. Maybe, but the coverage that other teams have been running has also allowed other players to open up. And I just have a feeling that this week is maybe Lawler's turn. Plus, he might be a little lower in price because he hasn't done so much lately. Yes, 13.5. Okay. Running backs, I thought I would go with Spencer Brown here if he's available at a reasonable price. Ooh, he's 6'5" already. Anyway, and I did want to put AJ in there, I said. So, AJ, 12.9. So there's 3 more to go. Wide receiver, flex, and defense. And I've got 22.1K to play with. Okay, so now I said that we would also maybe try to get Keyshawn Johnson in here, 11.4. And Dante Myers is 13. So anybody who's catching anything these days is expensive. But there we go. Which leaves us now 2 more players. So let's see what we can afford on defense. The Lions who aren't playing, Edmonton Elks at 5. Hamilton 6. Montreal's not playing. Bombers are 9. Argos are 8. Argos are 8? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, let's go with the Elks. What the heck, just to get a defense in there. 5K, if they give me 7 points, that's basically what the winning stuff. So that means, what do I have left in the flex here? What do I have left to spend? 5.7K. So let's go to that price range of 4 to 6K and see what we've got here. Well, Dell Duncan Busby is in at 4.2. Adrian Smith, 5.1. Mac Mahone, but he's out. Robinson, Claricius. Leaks in there. Mitchell, who's not going to be playing with it. So you know, I hate to say it, but it looks like probably my best hope in here, O'Leary Orange or Duncan Busby. If I go with O'Leary Orange, I'm doubling up anything that Bo gets there to him. So let's go with that. That leaves me 1.2K to play with. We'll make Bo the captain. So my team this week is the Edmonton Elks defense, Bo Levi Mitchell at quarterback, Spencer Brown from Toronto and AJ Ouellette from Saskatchewan as the running backs, Kenny Lawler and Keyshawn Johnson at the wide receivers, and Brandon O'Leary Orange at flex. And it leaves me 1.2K, but I'm not going to stress about that. With 3 teams out of this, a lot of the lower price people just are not available this week. So that's it. Locked in. So there's them. That's my picks. As usual, use them at your peril. I'm doing not bad. 1,279.1 points through 12 games. So I'm averaging over 100 points a game. And I believe I'm sitting at 5th in the CFL Fantasy League right now. So I've moved up a couple of steps, and we'll see what this week gets me. Anyway, that's it. The usual beg session at the end. Please subscribe, YouTube, Podcatcher, both. That all helps us. I've been begging for likes, and some of you people have been helping me out, helping us out here. This promotes not just this show, but the CFL Outsiders, our flagship show. And if you haven't tried that yet, check for it when it drops on Wednesdays, usually 4 o'clock BC time. And we have a lot of fun, and we've been getting some good reviews. So give that a try. But thank you for those who have subscribed, who have liked, who have left comments, all those things that the algorithm loves and points more people at us. That's great. Labor Day is here. Wow. I am so excited. I have a feeling next week's CFL Outsiders is going to be so much fun. Your Labor Day usually leaves you so much to talk about. So that's it. I wish you luck with your fantasy. I wish you luck with Pick'em if you play it. I wish us all 3 fantastic Labor Day worthy games. And we'll reconvene next week and talk about what happened. That's it for now. Old man, signing out.